Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan. And if you're wondering why the J, the answer is I'm not a bagpipe player. And if that joke doesn't make any sense, I encourage you to check out episode 0, where I explain that joke, as well as the purpose of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast, where we talk about faith, family, fitness, finances, and sometimes fun. Well, friends, thank you so much again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and commenting and everything else. Just this past week, I was able to give a brand new podcaster some advice are getting started and what they needed to do. So I'm excited to see another podcast pop up. I think there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room for people to be consistent. And if you're out there consistent, you can build an audience much like you guys are here. So thank you so much. Last week I spoke about brain health and I really wondered, I was like, oh no, am I repeating myself? And brain health has definitely been a consistent message, through this entire history of this podcast. And it could almost be faith, family, fitness, finances, and brain health as much as I talk about it. But with my concern about repeating myself, I went back and looked at my episodes this year to see, well, what am I talking about? What am I not talking about? And I discovered, really rediscovered, that at the beginning of 2024, I talked about what was in and what was out, and not necessarily predicting, but really some ins and outs that I saw culturally and personally. And I thought, well, it'd be funny. Here I am, way past halfway point of 2024. Let's go back and see if those ins and outs have been consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 3 of those ins and outs and see if they have maintained being true. Okay, so this is a reprise or reprise of an episode from January. And I'm going back and I'm like, what did I say was in and what did I say was out? And have that's been the case. So here we go. One of the first things I talked about was what was in is entrepreneur and opportunity, and what was out was what my friend Nancy called entrepreneurs anonymous, or entrepreneurs not taking themselves seriously. Now, the in and out doesn't mean that more people are going to take advantage of opportunity and less people are going to be serious. No, it means that people are going to become more aware of it and going to be moving into the areas they want. And I've seen that definitely, and I have continually reminding myself of that. You see, entrepreneur opportunities abound and continue to abound. And just in last 6 months, there's new opportunities to make money on TikTok with TikTok Shop and a million other things. And even I'm going to be announcing in August a brand new business that is a business venture of mine. So entrepreneur opportunity is definitely in. If your antenna is up, if your eyeball is up, or if you're scanning, if you're reading, there's more and more opportunities for entrepreneurship. But the entrepreneurs anonymous, the people who like to get together and not make any money, that still exists. But in my world, it's out. In fact, recently, I had an interaction with, I think, some very sweet folks, but they just don't take their businesses very seriously. And I want to see them take their business seriously, but that's something that they have to choose to do. And I walked away just saying, nope, 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 nope. Time is too valuable. Work is too important. The stakes are too high. Nope, I'm going to spend my time, investing in people who want to be invested in and looking for opportunities. And I just don't have time to just hang out and do nothing during the day. And those opportunities just exist over and over and over again. So entrepreneur opportunity in and entrepreneur not being taken seriously is out. 100% true. I see that day in day. I say more and more people jumping seriously into entrepreneurship, and then I see more and more people who just don't take it seriously. In fact, just recently I saw another person shutter their business, and that just happens. And there's areas where they could have taken it more seriously. And I'm reminded over and over again, Gordon, take it seriously. Dig in. Where can you find more opportunities? Because the stakes are high. So, entrepreneur opportunity in, and not taking entrepreneurship seriously out. 100% true. Now, the second one is, let me find my notes here. The second one was greater. How do I really want to say it without coming across too poorly, but um, greater harmony with people who want to grow and less harmony with people who don't. Now, this is very similar to the first one. But what happens is when people want to grow, um, there's a progression, and you find that your circle, well, I'm not talking about just like, it's not talking about entrepreneur networking here. I'm just talking about when you want to grow, all of a sudden, when you start taking your business seriously, you start taking your health seriously, you start taking your spirituality and your relationship seriously. And there's an intimacy and a bonding where you're like, hey, time with you was good. Thank you. This was an encouraging conversation. There's greater harmony with folks in that direction, and then there's less harmony with people who don't. And what happens in that situation is new friendships are formed, new encouragement platforms are formed. People take advantage of the opportunities they had, which I mentioned in the first one. And so there's a greater harmony when people are growth minded, growth focused, and there's less harmony with others. And I said that was in and out. And man, I can say that's the case. When I get together with my mentor, it's maybe once a month, and we don't have that schedule. We just know we get together once a month, and it's just I leave that time just absolutely stunned and feeling amazing. Um, just that those kind of harmonies, those kind of connections, that kind of energy is just unlike anything else. And so there's more harmony in relationships like that, and there's a disconnect everyone else. One of the other things I said was the in and out, was in marketing. There was going to be a move away from hyper focus, and there was going to be broadening of marketing opportunities. And so for me, I shared the story that I basically needed to triple the amount of marketing I was doing, for us personally, and not just go all in on Facebook, but I need to broaden in other areas. And that's necessary right now to get the word out, because people just don't know who we are. And yes, I'm not saying put out mediocre content across a bunch of platforms. I'm saying go all in on Facebook, and then go all in on LinkedIn, and go on TikTok, and then learn the strategies to do that all over the place. And so what was in was broadening marketing across multiple platforms. And what was out was just going all in on one platform. Listen, if you've maximized and you're like, hey, just do Facebook and I'm crushing it, then hey, you know what? Then add in another platform and increase your opportunity. And so that one was really more personally that I was really going to broaden how much content I put out. And I've been able to do that. I'm not hitting the goals I want to hit yet, but I'm getting there. In that episode, there were a couple other areas of in and out, but going back at it now, it does a couple of things. It reminded me, like, hey, those ins and outs for the year were really a resharing of personal goals. And it reminds me to keep to them because those goals have not changed. And it reminds me to protect myself from things I said were out. You mean the outs were people not taking their business seriously. The outs were disharmony with people who didn't want to grow. The outs were not putting out enough marketing content, or just zero focusing on one. I agree. Those are all still out. The ends were entrepreneur opportunity. Yes. Harmony with people you have similar goals with. Yes. Broadening marketing opportunities. Yes. And so those ins and outs have held true. But now, a little over halfway through the year, I'm reminded it's time to dig in. So my encouragement to you is revisit your goals from the beginning of the year. We've now here in August, we've got a rock solid 5 months to go in the year, and it's worthwhile, for you to revisit, double down, and get them done. And so, friends, I encourage you to go back and check and see what you did in January. Renew those goals. Don't give up on them just because it's been a difficult year. And in some of them, maybe you can even increase what you want to do that. But for me, these are good reminders. And it's easy, especially during summer, maybe to ease up a little bit and slip up on some of these goals, but nope, not going to happen. And it was fun to kind of revisit my old episodes. It might be something I do again. So, friends, hang in there. I hope you have a great week. I hope August and is an amazing month for you. If I can help you in any way, reach out. You can set your appointments at capitalizeyourbest.com, or you can join our Facebook group at Capitalize Your Best. And you can always find me across all the platforms. And friends, I appreciate you listening and can't wait to talk to you again next week. Thanks so much.